Hello, and welcome to Secrets from Athletes, where we dive into what makes a top athlete and how you can apply their routines and mindsets to your own life. I'm your host, Andre Shaw, and today with me, I have my friend Yazen Alberto, a member of my high school's wrestling team. How are you doing tonight, Yaz?
I'm doing amazing. How about you, Andre?
Pretty good. Got all my college apps submitted, so this weekend was a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds amazing, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, how about we jump right in? How'd you get
Yes,
into
sir.
wrestling, and what made you stick with it?
I got into wrestling because my freshman year I wasn't the most fit person to say the least. And I've always wanted to do something to push myself. I've always heard like the sentiment that hard work always beats talent, but I've kind of seen it in a different way. I've always seen that hard work makes you talented. For an example, with wrestling, I've never like what I've gone into wrestling for. I got into it because I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to learn how to defend myself, and it's taught me more than just that. So I've developed a new appreciation for a journey, and that's exactly what wrestling has brought for me. And it's not something I expected from the beginning, but it's something that I'm staying for the journey now.
I feel like that's wonderful. That's honestly something similar with me for Rowan. I was kind of
Yeah,
in a similar place. I wasn't the most fit my freshman year, and when I saw it,
yeah.
I'm like, why not? Let's try it, and it's a great journey. But I feel like that's something sports have is they create this like thing bigger than themselves for people if you get so
That's
involved in
that's
them.
an amazing way of putting it, man. I completely agree with you. Seriously.
And I gotta say that quote, "Hard work makes talent." Perfect, perfect quote right there. I'm gonna
Appreciate
use
it.
that from now on.
Absolutely,
Now,
man. I got
yeah.
you.
Now, on the topic of quotes, what's the best piece of advice someone from your sport has given you? It can be on the sport itself or just life in general.
One thing that I've really realized is that you don't have to be great at everything you do. Like me personally, when I first like around high school, freshman, sophomore time, I didn't want to do things outside my comfort zone. Like if my dad asked me to go on a run with him, I'm sorry, I only do wrestling. If my friends asked me to go to the gym, sorry, I only do wrestling. I only study. But then I realized that, man, like how am I gonna continue living on like this, right? Heck, one time I even started doing American Ninja Warrior workouts just because
Oh
I just
wow.
wanted to see if I could do it. I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I was terrible at it, but it was a fun experience. It was something new. It was something I've never done before, and it provided like because it showed me a different perspective of working out. It showed me a different approach to how to learn. Because that's all I believe working out is. It's learning how to be better for yourself, learning how to improve yourself. So it just taught me that like new perspective, which I really do appreciate.
And I feel like by doing those things that make you uncomfortable, like you're saying, you grow and you learn who you are yourself. Because like maybe you do one of those things you think is going to be uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, I really like this.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
I feel like it also grows like your patience and like your discipline, commitment, all those different like really good habits to have in life.
Yeah, for sure.
On the topic of habits, what's one of the, or well, habits and skills, what's one of the best skills you've learned from wrestling and how have you applied it outside of a sport?
One of the best skills I've learned from wrestling is honestly discipline. I know it kind of sounds a little cliche, but discipline haven't learned it any better than I have in wrestling. Like I said before, I wasn't the most physically fit person when I first started wrestling, but man, I'll tell you right now, me personally, I've lost like almost 30 pounds of just straight fat
Oh,
from
wow.
wrestling. And uh, I'll tell you, not every single day I wanted to be there. Not every single minute I even want, like, I always thought, like, man, if I quit, nothing's gonna hold me back. None, because back then, no one really like knew me. So I didn't really make too many connections. So I was like, I mean, no one here really knows me. No one here really like likes me too much, but no one like, I wasn't of like a personality there. So, but the thing is that I hated the idea of being the same more than I hated the idea of staying the same. Or sorry, let me re-say that. I hated the idea of remaining the same way I was, which was the person who just stayed on video games all day and didn't do anything else outside of life. I hated that version of me so much that I wanted to change. And I've learned how to channel that anger. I've learned how to channel that stuff into something useful. Man, like there's so many times, like for an example, extended essay me and you both worked on. I did not want to do that thing at all, bro. Like it,
I don't think anyone did.
yeah, exactly. But I said, frick it. Let me like do something that my future self will be thankful for, and that is the exact mentality that's driven me so far. This IB diploma, man, like it's taking every bit out of me, but I know I'll be thankful for it at the end when I get into college, the college of my dreams.
Yeah, that is honestly one of the ideas that feel like I've started to adopt more, and a lot of people should is do it for your future self
Yes,
because it's like that's who you are. Set yourself up for success later in life as well.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned dream college. Do you mind sharing what that is?
So for me personally, I'm very, very into the ROTC world. As you can see over here, I'm rocking a U.S. Army lanyard. My father was able to do so much for my family. Like he's broken his back just for while in service, just for me and my sister and my mom. He has done countless things. Like even when he didn't even have money to spend on himself, he spent on me and my sister, and that is something that I want to do for my own family. So something that like the colleges I've been looking for, my top two, sorry, my top three are Virginia Tech, Texas A&M, and Syracuse. Virginia Tech and Texas A&M is just because they have something called Corps of Cadets, which is top of the line ROTC basically, and I want to really pursue this dream with the military, as well as Syracuse, because they're the number one yellow ribbon school inside,
Mhm.
the number one yellow ribbon university. So that's something I really, really do appreciate as well. These universities give so much to the community. I personally serve at the Fort Belvoir Army Community Service, and I wouldn't give a single thing in the world, or I would give everything in the world just for that opportunity to continue serving, because those people, they've taught me so much about how life really is greater than just you. We a lot of people get like tied into this whole thing where they're the main character. Their lives and their problems are so huge they can't even do it themselves. And seeing like going out and helping others helps you, and that's something that's really helped me carry out my like desire for college and where I want to be in the future.
First, thank you to your dad for his service. It's an incredible sacrifice for our country.
Of
Second,
course.
that attitude you're talking about with thinking of something bigger than yourself, I feel like that's one of the healthiest ways to view the world because
Hmm.
it's just like it puts your problems into a good perspective for you, where it's like, oh no, like something that at one point you thought was major happened, but then when you put
Hmm.
it in the perspective, it's like, oh,
The grand scheme of things.
yeah, it's a smaller thing for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned the yellow ribbon program. What exactly is that?
So yellow ribbon is it's like the military awareness kind of appreciation. Uh, I'm kind of familiar with it because I used to live on base. Yellow ribbon basically represented the people who served in the military. For an example, some kids, their parents never come back from service, and that's something extreme. It's a harsh reality we have to live through. The yellow ribbon is there to show for those people, people who think that they're like forsaken by who their parents died for. We do appreciate their sacrifices, and those people should never be considered like outsiders. Which is something my father, he went and got deployed multiple times. I Something I struggled with while I was being like raised is, do my parents like see me? And that yellow ribbon stuff, it might seem kind of corny, but it's something so strong, so beautiful for children who like have lived through the military service. Because it's not only is it a harsh burden on the parents, of course, because they're moving all around, they're trying to manage the kids that they don't know like what's going on every single minute of the day, because they have to be so focused in work. Like I said before, at the Army Community Service at Fort Belvoir, man, seeing those kids, seeing them exactly like the way I was. I've helped lead some of those events at teen nights. I've helped the kids gain friendships. I've helped people bond over these hard problems that they face. But I've also taught them how to like face them with good boundaries. You know, So it's something that I hold very dear to my heart, and it's something I really want to do for future kids as well.
That's incredible. That's an incredible why to have. I wish you the best of luck, man.
I appreciate it, man. Seriously.
Oh, all right, perfect. The
All right.
audio cut out for a second. I think that was on my end. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
okay, okay.
All right.
All right, you're all good.
Since we were on the topic of military typically have like kind of regimes and protocols they follow. Do you have any sort of pre-match ritual or procedure you do before your wrestling matches that gets you kind of locked in?
Mm. All right, so I'm gonna come clean here. I love, me personally, I love white girl music, pop music. It has a huge impact on my life, and it's
My
something.
man.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. But me personally, like right before a match, of course I like to get a good sweat going, so I'm not going in the match cold. All right, and while I'm doing this, I'm listening to one of three songs. Okay, I'm listening to Judas by Lady Gaga, or I'm listening to one of my favorites, "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift,
Mm.
and then my third one, I have to give it to like it's another Swift song, but "I Knew You Were Trouble." Like these three songs, it hits different for me. It's different for
All
me.
right, all
All right,
right.
and I love listening to them, especially right before a match.
So, is your could you give us like a small picture of what a pre-match day looks like for you? Like what?
Okay.
So like you listen to the music, how do you like warm up? When do you get to the stadium? All those kind of things.
Okay, yeah. So for an example, and I for the tournaments, like the big events, we usually sorry, excuse me. I usually pull up really early. Like let's say the tournament starts at 8. I like to pull up around 5 or 4 a.m. and then I get to the facility and I check my weight. Sometimes I'm over, sometimes I'm under. It depends. But let's say for this case, I'm over like let's say 3 pounds. I'd be like, oh okay, I can lose that weight because a lot of that 3 pounds is just water weight. So I always have my puffer, and then I have some nice baggy sweatpants, and I just go on a little like nice jog. I get my body sweating, I get my body like my blood flowing, my heart pumping, and it usually by like around like 6:30 ish to 7, I get I'm ready. I'm on weight. I'm all good, and I'm ready to start wrestling. And and then like from that 7 to 8 area is when we do official weigh-ins. So we'll all get in the line, and because of course it is a sport, we all have to be on weight. No one can be even a point one above. So everyone goes through. Hopefully, the whole team doesn't get flagged. All right, sometimes that happens, and well, coach isn't the most happy about it, to say the least. So yeah, we get through that whole thing, and then that's whenever I start doing like my my pre-match warm ups and whatnot. That's when I listen to my Judas and get my flow going.
All right. So this thing with wrestling, with the weight system, that's always kind of interesting me. Like how do you prep to get to that point to be at weight for like a match? Like you said, you do the run in the morning to get the last little bit off, but like what's
Yep.
the overall procedure look like?
So the overall procedure, so like I look up to UFC fighters like ever since freshman year. I'm not gonna lie, a big help towards my freshman year like starting wrestling was because I love the UFC. I mean, I loved seeing the fighters, and that sport is extremely hard, let alone to like be at the top of the world for it. So a lot of it is like something one UFC fighter said is like 2 weeks before a match, or 2 weeks, or like for like a tournament in our case, since I'm kind of younger, like 1 week before, like I just cut out salts. I cut out as much sodium as I can, and that because the sodium holds the water, it holds like the fat and whatnot. But if you like, as soon as you cut down on that stuff, you see your body flush. All right. And another good thing, well, of course, diet as well. You have to keep clean. You have to make sure you're eating well, but then you slowly have to cut down. Even though you're eating well, yeah, I'm still eating less and less and less closer to competition day. Usually, like the day before competition, I like to maybe eat like 3 apples the whole day, and maybe get like a cup of water. And then before weigh-ins, of course, I'm fasted all the way until official weigh-ins. So it is a little bit of a mental battle, But me personally, I am of the Muslim faith, so I believe that whenever you're fasting, whenever like you're the going through something you don't have to, it helps you understand other people of different perspectives. Me personally, I'm very well off. My parents have been able to provide for me like in any scenario. So I'm so thankful for that. But there's some people who don't have the same luxury as I do. So that's something in my Muslim faith that helps me like stay grounded in reality. That I'm not, I'm not like I said before, the center of reality.
I feel like with this weigh-in process, like you were saying, how discipline is one of the biggest things that wrestling has taught you. I feel like this is a perfect example of how that
Yeah,
discipline is
of
played out.
course, yeah,
So I feel like self-doubt's something almost all and most likely all athletes face. Have you ever
for
faced
sure.
it? How did you overcome it?
So I faced a lot of self doubt, especially on my junior year of wrestling season. I wasn't able to wrestle for practically the whole season because I faced a very bad injury to my ankle. I rolled it in the middle of practice. It was right up against the wall, and like my ankle was like, and then I couldn't even walk on it for like a week. I had to be on crutches, but in that time I was like, damn, like is this even is this like God trying to give me a sign? Is this like I just gotta quit? And then because after that I didn't really have an opportunity to wrestle for my position as a 150 pounder because my coach I guess there was some trust lost because of my injury, and I just never had that opportunity to come back because of it. So something that really hit me, like especially in my confidence and my like, well, just for lack of a better word, my ego. It took a really big hit. But then I realized that I put too much of myself into wrestling. Like whenever I fail at something outside of it, like let's say I fail on a test, I always think like, damn, okay, I need to recalculate how I was doing this stuff and then get back at it stronger. But because I put so much of myself into wrestling, I wasn't able to think of a non like of it in a cognitive way. Because I had all my emotions in it. I had all my heart in it. So I was like, damn, is this really meant for me? But of course, I took some time off. I took some time to build myself. I started hitting the gym, and well, I feel like I'm a lot better than I was, especially 6 months ago. I'm a lot better mental place as well. So something that really does help is just to take a deep breath, and that self doubt, it will always be with you, no matter what. No one's ever gonna wrestle at 100%. No one's ever gonna row at 100%. Everyone is always held back by something, but it's how you push through that. The holding back is what's gonna do it for you. One thing my dad says is never ride the lows and never ride the highs. You always have to keep a nice like homeostasis with your emotions. Why? Because it honestly, it can spiral you down so fast, and it can spiral you up so easily as well. So as long as you can keep yourself intact, then the world is yours. That's what I'm strongly believing in.
I feel like you're saying that balance, that, as you said, homeostasis really
Hmm.
keeps you consistent in both
Exactly.
moments. Because
Yeah.
even with like highs, when you get up there, there's always, with like mountains, stuff like that, those type of highs, it always goes down. And if you
Yeah.
get
There's
too caught
always a
up in
valley
it,
to every peak.
yeah, there it always crashes down. So
Exactly.
you mentioned this partially with your faith, but what are some of your tips for staying motivated when things get tough?
Another thing, like it's honestly realizing that, just like I said before, realizing that your problems aren't everything. Like even whenever I come back, let's say I had a completely trash day at practice, my coach was yelling at everyone. He didn't want to be there. None of us wanted to be there, and we were just conditioning our lives off. All right. One thing that always helps me is that like there are other people that are fighting with me. My dad, he's fighting every single day, keeping this house up, keeping the bills paid, making sure me and my sister are happy. My mom, exact same thing. And like knowing that these people, these like as well my sister too, she's extremely intelligent. Heck, she's don't tell her I said this, but I believe she's smarter than me, and she
So give her this
puts
podcast to listen to, so she'll hear it.
tell her to skip this part. I'll tell her to skip this part. But yeah, as I was saying, like, she she's also fighting, right? And I realized I'm not the only one that has these battles. I'm not the only one that has these troubles. And it's like surround yourself by people that you want to be like. You always hear this thing. You are the fifth of the four people you hang around with, and that I strongly believe in. If you hang around four people that always want to get their work done, that always want to push themselves, you're gonna want to match them. We're naturally competitive, but you can make that competitiveness healthy for you. All right. So that's something that's really pushed me through, that other people are also fighting with me. And of course, inside those bad days, I have my teammates as well. I have my friend, his name is Colin. Me and him, like it could be the worst wrestling practice of our lives, and me and him will somehow still find a way to crack jokes in between. Coach doesn't really love it too much, but it's okay. It's
Make
between
you
us.
gonna make you do more conditioning.
You know what? It'll be all be worth it in the end. That's what also I think about too.
But I feel like having that, in this case, community, and of course, like the kind of big point we've always talked about in this episode is something bigger than yourself. But especially with having
Yes.
this community where it's like other people have their own problems when it might not be the exact same as my problem. They understand, like sometimes having a
Yeah.
lack of motivation, and you
Yeah.
kind of
Understand the
can
struggle.
exactly, and you can have like that. Their strength can help you. Your strength can help them, and in turn, by helping others, you can help yourself with that too.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. What is the funniest story, since you mentioned joking around in practice, that you've ever seen or done in your sport?
So the funniest story. Wow. Yeah, hold on. Honestly, one of the funniest stories for me is I think this happened in my sophomore year. Sophomore, maybe it might have been like senior summer rising junior year, like between that time. We were like it was me, Drew Foster, and a couple others. We like, and this was a tournament, so we were just straight goofing off. All right, and then Drew Foster, like he's kind of on the heavier side, so we loved watching his matches. But right after Drew Foster wrestled, oh my gosh, I saw Cade Moreland and another heavyweight going at it, dude. I love when the bigs go at it, and when both of them are giving 100%. Man, I love it. All right, me and my friends are cracking jokes. And K Moreland wins. The whole crowd is going crazy and whatnot because it's like it's both of them were going good. They were doing amazing. And bro, I don't like also seeing them like flubber around as well. It was hilarious to see as well. So
But
I love watching the bigs fight, and it's always like a cinematic movie every time you see it happen.
I feel like it's always fun to see like such a like vibrant match in front of you.
Exactly,
And
exactly
yeah.
that.
So you mentioned your plans briefly earlier. So do your future plans in college involve wrestling at all, or is it going solely down the ROTC path?
Me personally, I love wrestling now. Wrestling is a huge passion of mine. Even though I might not be the top of the best NCAA championship level, I still love that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I plan on doing it for a club because wrestling and like also like just combat sports in general. I really do want to pursue. I've always had plans to just join an MMA gym, just because like I'd love to work on that stuff. And the people there, they're also there to work on themselves as well. So I just see it as a beautiful opportunity to get with other people who want to push themselves the same way you do. So
I feel
honestly, yeah,
that's a good skill to have as well by doing that. And like having a
exactly.
sport that you can do your whole life as well, or for most of your life, it keeps
Yeah.
some consistency.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, I'll always have something to fall back on to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I'm
Exactly.
trying to get toned for summer.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the blitz questions. These are just short, quick, fun questions. You don't need to put too much thought into them.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Question one. What's your favorite day of the week?
It has to be Saturday. Has to be
Saturday.
Saturday.
Any specific
Yes,
reason
sir.
why?
Dude, like Saturday, you slept in from Friday night, and then you can wake up at like whatever time you want, unless your mom's like like, come on, you need to wake up. But she usually saves that for Sunday because Sunday's cleaning day. But
Yeah.
hey, yeah, Saturday, and then plus you can hang out with your friends late too. I mean, of course, we gotta watch out for the curfew because we don't break the laws here.
Of
But
course.
exactly, yeah. But it's always a blast. It's always a blast, like on a Saturday.
All right. What's your favorite movie?
Real Steel. Come on now. Real Steel. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it yet.
What? Okay, so
It's
Real
another
Steel
addition
is
to the list. I'm building up
dude,
a
you
list of movies I gotta watch from this podcast.
yes, bro. Real Steel. It's basically the this one like movie where this Hugh Jackman plays this ex-boxer who's basically forcefully retired because robots start boxing for the like humans.
Yeah,
And yeah, so okay, so you're familiar with the
yeah,
premise then?
I'm familiar with like the plot of a movie, like what the movie is. I just
Mm,
haven't seen it yet.
damn, okay.
Moving on to
Yes,
question
sir.
3. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food has to be dolma. You don't know what dolma is, but
I do not know.
it's an ethnic dish. My mom, she's from the Middle East, and it's basically like you take rice, put it in green leaves, and like you roll it up, and you also take like onions, put rice in it. You take like large chunks of lamb. Woo!
You're
Like
making me
just
hungry,
talk.
man. Come on.
Yeah. Just talking about it is getting my mouth salivating. But bro, I love it so much. Dolma is so amazing, man. But the only bad thing about it is the next morning you wake up with like the biggest gut you've ever seen. But it's okay. It's okay.
Worth it. It sounds like it's worth
Exactly.
it.
Damn right it is.
All right. So you mentioned you're a huge white girl music fan, but who's your favorite
Mm-hmm.
artist?
Okay, so my top three right now, or my number one personally is Lady Gaga. Me personally, I was raised on the radio music, and every time Lady Gaga came on, like my parents knew to turn up that dang aux. All right, but yeah, it's Lady Gaga for sure for me. Especially Judas. Judas is probably my favorite song as well for sure.
Awesome. That's a solid pick right there. All
I
right.
appreciate it.
What is your favorite animal?
Cats for sure, bro. Yo, listen. Me personally, I've dealt with dogs. All right, this might be a little controversial to say. Dogs stink, bro. I hate dogs. All right, I can't stand the smell of dogs. Okay, but with cats, they're chill. They don't bother you too much. You don't bother them too much. They want to snuggle with you. You pet them a little bit, and then they purring. Come on now, there ain't no better animal than a cat.
All right. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the first part, but I like both cats and dogs, so agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. Yep.
All right. Now, what sport would you do if you could do any other sport at the pro level?
Ooh, any sport I could do at the pro
Any
level.
sport. Any sport you become a pro at it. What sport would it
Ooh,
be? Aside from
honestly,
wrestling.
aside from wrestling, I would love to do like kickboxing or Muay Thai, because that stuff I love watching that. It's such an amazing sport. Like those sports are such an amazing sports. Like it's boxing, you get the impact, like the stress and like the high stakes of boxing. Plus you add in kicks. Come on, huh? Like this is everything
Yeah.
I love.
Best of
So
both
yeah,
worlds.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, slight tangent question here, but I came into my mind. If it is any sport other than like any martial art, no martial arts in this
No
one,
martial
what
arts.
sport would
Okay.
it be?
No martial arts. Damn. Okay. I would have to. Let me think. So, okay. I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna go with two.
Okay.
Okay. So my number one is probably what's probably track. I'm not gonna lie.
Track?
Track. I feel like track is it's very like down to the basics. But man, whenever you see a good track race, like I have a lot of friends. For an example, just to name one, Adam Hampstead. He's an amazing track runner, bro. I love seeing him race, bro. And I love seeing my friends succeed, and I'd love to succeed with them. So the track, I have a lot of friends there, and so I wouldn't mind running track as well. But not right now though. Not right now though. All right, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bulked up. But as well, my second would probably be crew. I have the most friends in crew aside from
Really?
track.
True. Wow.
Yeah. Dude, no, listen, I crew guys, they're extremely chill. I haven't met a single crew guy that wasn't
He
that
said
wasn't
it. He said it. I didn't say it. Yaz, you said it.
but yeah, like you, Dayton, like and the guy who graduated from last year, what was his name? Anders. You
Yeah.
guys were amazing people. We had a whole
Thank
community
you.
of just
Thank you.
like yeah, we had a whole community of just people who wanted to play games with each other through crew alone. So I'd love
Yeah.
to be in that type of community.
Yeah. No crew because you're stuck in the same boat with people for hours on end. You just build that community. All right.
Yeah.
Now the last question. This is wrestling related. Would you
Yep.
rather like absolutely win all your matches, like demolish your opponents the whole season, but your
Mhm.
team loses overall, or not win a single match the whole season, but your team wins overall?
Let me think. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. This might be a little egotistical, but me personally, uh, I'm great friends with two or three people of the wrestling team. A lot of the other guys, we don't have too much of a connection, just because a lot of arguments and whatnot, and it's like it's a community where I'm not too much a part of, but I'm great friends with like two or three people. So hey, listen, I'd love for me and my friends to dominate, and then the rest of the team, they sadly have to lose a lot. But hey, if I had to choose, I'm getting them highlights, baby.
Yeah.
I'm posting stories on Instagram and whatnot. So hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, I feel at some point like you need to also like as cool as team success is, I mean, absolutely demolishing all your opponents and winning every single match. That's pretty impressive.
Damn right. Hey, give me air bump. Give me air bump. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking
All
about,
right.
man.
And that's the last question. Thank you, Yaz, for being on tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, Andre, and it's
Of
always a
course.
pleasure talking with you, bro.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
And thank you all for tuning into Secrets from Athletes. Make sure to follow on Instagram at secrets_from_athletes. We also have a YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts under the same name. We'll be back with more secrets from athletes to help you refine your routines and mindsets.